Hey guys, Dave and Brandy's Excursions Travel here with a ship tour of Royal Caribbean's Utopia of the Seas. Utopia of the Seas is an Oasis class ship coming in at 236,473 gross ton, 5,668 passengers at double occupancy. And she was christened July 15th, 2024, and maiden voyage was July 19th, 2024. So come along, let's go deck by deck of this beautiful ship. There are escalators coming from deck 2 to deck 3 and even to deck 4, but this is coming from deck 2 to deck 3. And to show you from deck 3 to deck 2 where you would debark to go to your ports of call. But let's go back to deck 3. We are actually forward on the ship, but this is actually where you would get your towels if you're happen to leave to go to port. This is where you would pick them up and exchange them. There's also a conference center here. And down the hall is the main floor of the dining room. Now let's head to deck 4 where we find the main entrance of the Royal Theatre. There are entrances on decks 4 and 5, but we're going to take a look on deck 4. Leaving the Royal Theatre, we come across these awesome stingrays that are hanging from the decks above. But we're actually going to head to Casino Royale, but the non-smoking casino. It's a nice option that there is a non-smoking casino, and it's pretty big. And in this area also is Studio B. This is where you could do the ice skating show and even have classes to go ice skating. We saw Utopia, that's the name of the show, and it was fantastic. So if you have a chance to check out the ice skating show on any of the Royal ships, definitely do it. You will not be disappointed. But let's check back into the non-smoking casino. There are definitely enough slots, and there are some table games in here as well. Here's a quick glimpse of the cashier's desk and the casino host desk. In this hallway, going midship, is the art gallery. Then we come across the main Casino Royale. So smoking is allowed in this casino. And of course you have your slots and your table games here. And even a bar if you want a little beverage while you're donating to the casino. Then you come across the main entrance of the dining room. Actually, the second level, I should say. But let's hang to the right and check out the entrance to Utopia Station. This is an upcharge restaurant, but dang, it looks neat. We didn't have reservations this cruise, but let's listen to the ticker. But the whole theming is Wild West. You're traveling on a train. It just looks so realistic, and maybe someday we'll do a reservation. But we just love the theming in this hallway. The iron staircase, the train in the hallway. Just attention to detail. Now let's head to the second level of the dining room. This really is a beautiful dining room. Out of our 3 days, we only ate here once. But yeah, just so pretty. All right, let's head to deck 5 and let's actually check out the jogging track. The track is pretty neat because it does go around the whole deck 5 on the outside. So let's take a gander. Love all the motivational signs on the top there. And a quick glimpse of Royal's private destination that they're building in Nassau. And this is a neat little spot on the aft of deck 5. You can actually see the water. And if you have a service dog, this is where you would go. It's on the port side on deck 5 off the jogging track. All right, back inside and let's head to the Royal Promenade. Here you can see some seating here, which is just right outside the pesky parrot on the right hand side. This is a cool bar. This is definitely our vibe. All the tropics and just the laid back chill vibe. You get an icy concoction or a nice mixed drink. And what's really neat, besides the little hooks for the purses, there are charging ports. And there were quite a few, so if you need to quickly charge your device and you had your cord with you, you have an option here. And Brian the parrot's here, so let's see what he has to say today.
You people are beautiful. You know that? I wouldn't have said that 2 drinks ago, but now, well, now I will. Except you.
And you can see all the dollar bills on top of the ceiling there. We made a donation up there as well. Continuing down the promenade, we got an Effie store, a next cruise area if you want to book your next cruise while you're on the ship, and we have the cool Pontiac that's here behind the Utopia sign. A very cool picture op. Then we are coming across Sorrento's. So if you have that pizza fix or want some LMP, this is where you would go. in this cool little conch shell design. And more tables and chairs. And actually that's where we came into when we embarked on the ship. You got more stores. You got your beauty products, your perfumes, all the fancy stuff. And now we're actually coming across Boleros, but Park West took over Boleros at that time, so we couldn't really explore that. But right across from Boleros is Starbucks. Starbucks is an upcharge, but they got the cool Been There series cups, which of course I got Utopia of the Seas cup. And Entertainment Place is actually on deck 4 down those stairs, and that led to Studio B, the Royal Theater, and all that, and the casino. Then we have Spotlight Karaoke. This is your karaoke bar, where if you want to belt out a tune or two, this is where you would go. Either that or be a spectator and cheer people on. And they do have these little shopping kiosks in the middle of the promenade. And you got your Royal Caribbean store. That's basically where you get your logo gear. And you got Port Merchants, which is basically your liquor and tobacco store. And you got the Bell and Barley. This is an English style pub, and they do have bands that play here in the evening. And you got Accessory Place, which more purses. Take a closer look. And right next to that is Cafe Promenade. So if you want to get a coffee here instead of Starbucks and grab a quick snack, you go there. And right next to that is the Rising Tide Bar. So it goes from deck 5 to deck 8, and you can just have a drink and have a ride. Then we have guest services. And this cool little monkey dude. Then you got Regalia watches. And there are two little desks here, one for the internet, the Voom internet, and the other one's the port and shopping desk. Okay, we'll walk up these stairs and head to deck 6. Here you will find your shore excursions desk and focus, which is the photo gallery. And a little overview of the promenade. And with Focus, they do have digital photos, so you can order your photos from those little iPads or from the Royal Caribbean app. But across the way is the Schooner Bar. This is basically your piano bar area, and this was so much fun. We spent the first night here, and it was so much fun. But plenty of seating. You get the piano there. Just loved all the old nautical relics. Fits the theme. And you got the Schooner Bar itself. Leaving the Schooner Bar, and you got these pretty little jellyfish decorations, but we're gonna head to the boardwalk. I love the theming of the carousel, where it was like the process of making the horses for the carousel. And of course you got little arcade carnival games. Got my favorite skee ball. And of course the carousel. And right next to the carousel is Playmakers. It is the sports bar on the ship. It is an upcharge. It's a la carte, but it's good pub food, and the prices really weren't that bad. So let's head on inside and check it out. They do have some old school games like Defender, Galaga, Donkey Kong, Mario Brothers, Space Invaders. We didn't get a chance to play any of these, but dang, if we had the time, we definitely would have. Got a foosball table and other arcade games there. And on the other side of the boardwalk, you have the dog house. So if you need a quick hot dog fix, you would go here. And along with Sugar Beach, which is the candy store. And there is a kids shop. So basically the kids logo shop. Get your plushies, shirts, cool toys. And we have Johnny Rockets. It is an upcharge for lunch and dinner, but breakfast is free, so keep that in mind. And then you have the exit from the Great Abyss. We never got to do this either, so that means we gotta sail Utopia again. And then we have the kids climber area. And here we're coming along the Aqua Theater. We did the Aqua Show, the Aqua 80s 2, and it was phenomenal. So if you have the chance to do it, book the show. And on both sides of the Aqua Theater are rock climbing walls. And on forward of deck 6 is Vitality at Sea. This is your spa, treatment center, and this is where you find the gym. We were able to take a little tour of the spa and the gym area, so let's come along. Just down the hallway from the entrance is where you find the gym. We kind of got a quick glimpse of the gym. It was busy, but there are plenty of machines. And down that stairwell is the jogging track. You can see different classes going on, and they have a spin cycle room. And now we're gonna head on downstairs to the spa treatment areas. We weren't able to go to all the treatment rooms, but she showed us the relaxation waiting room and the area with the heated loungers. One of my favorite spots. She even let us try one out. It was so relaxing. And the beautiful art in front of us, it was so nice. Now we're gonna head to deck 8 and cut through Central Park. Now, Central Park is so cool. All the plants in every Central Park on Royal Caribbean, they're all real. Here you'll find Izumi, Hibachi, and Sushi. Such a cool place to have this restaurant. Walking by the beautiful plants, but they have outside seating for all the restaurants in this area. And if you want something quick to go, they do have Izumi in the park. One thing we wanted to try were the bubble cones. We didn't have the time. So that just means we have to sail another ship that has it. Cool little seating areas just hanging out in the park. And now we're going to the Park Cafe. This is a cool option. It's a grab and go option. All the items inside are included. But you can find yogurt, parfaits, fresh fruit. We got your sandwiches, wraps, breakfast sandwiches. There was even a bagel bar. Very cool idea if you just want to grab a light breakfast on the go, or just sit outside in the park, or sit inside if you want to be outside. It's just a neat area to hang out. Oh, I forgot they had donuts. We're gonna venture along. Some of the cool art around the ship. Cute little giraffe. Then we're coming across to the Trellis Bar. So pretty in here. And remember that Rising Tide bar? It ends up on 8 in Central Park. And they'll let you know when the next departures are. Next to the Rising Tide bar is Chops Grill, the steakhouse. And on the opposite side is 150 Central Park, a little bit more high-end restaurant. And they got a cute little elephant guy here too. And past the elevator banks is Music Hall. This is the bottom entrance of the Music Hall. This is where they would have live entertainment, dancing, other activities, but this is a cool lounge with a pretty awesome view of the boardwalk. And now let's head upstairs to deck 9 to the top part of the music hall. Here you can find a pool table, more seating, a bar, cool hangout spot. And on deck 12 is Giovanni's Italian Kitchen and Wine Bar. And once again, this restaurant is 2 levels. This top area is basically the wine bar section, where you can get like a la carte items to go instead of buying the full meal of Giovanni's. You got the bar right around here. Relaxing seating all around. And this is all overlooking the actual restaurant, which we'll head down to deck 11 to the main restaurant. There's definitely enough wine in that cooler. And there is a neat feature about this restaurant. Besides the cool view here, you could actually sit outside. The weird thing is the balconies are really close to the restaurant. That is kind of a weird thing in my opinion, but overall the view is pretty cool. Now let's head to deck 15 forward to the Solarium Bistro. This is another option if you don't want to go to the Windjammer for something to eat. This was always busy too anytime that we went here. And this was breakfast when I recorded this, so you'll see a lot of breakfast items. Now let's head outside of the Solarium Bistro to go to the Solarium. This is a neat space. It is enclosed, so on our sailing it was a little warm, but loved the vibe here. There was plenty of seating, plenty of loungers, and these cool octopus dudes. There are a couple hot tubs, and there is a pool in here as well. So let's walk around and check it out. There is a bar in here, and they serve light, refreshing drinks. The pools down here look so nice, and I love the chairs in the water. As we're exiting the solarium, we came across a little satellite bar. So if you didn't want to wait at the other bar, you could come around to the port side of the solarium and grab a drink. And right outside the solarium is the view bar. This is such a cool little outside bar. You just get to sit back, relax, and see the ocean. Now we're coming across Splashaway Bay. So this is where you take the kids at heart, to go on water slides. You got the Cyclone, the Supercell, and the Typhoon. I can tell you there's no lack of chairs by the pool areas. And this is Baby Bay. So this is basically the splash pad for the little ones. And here's all the rules and whatnots, just in case you need to know. And right next to Baby Bay is Splashaway Bay. And I gotta tell ya, a younger version of Brandy would have loved this whole area. And right next to Splashaway Bay is a towel station. It's good if you just need to exchange towels. And sprinkles. Of course, early in the morning it wasn't open, but this is where you get your ice cream fix. And we're gonna cross over here. And we're gonna go by the lime and coconut. So we're gonna check out the other side of this area. And just a reminder, if you want to experience any of this, I can help. Links to my travel agency info is down below. Okay, shameless plug done. So we're by beach pool. And right next to the beach pool is the other side of the lime and coconut, but this is the smoking side. And next to the beach pool is a hot tub. And walking between the lime and coconut, we're going to venture out and check out the other pools on deck 15. It's just a little overview of the lime and coconut because it is 2 stories on each side. You got a little shower area here. And you got loungers on stadium style tiers. And these awesome chairs, which I'm not sure the exact name, but I love the in the water pool chairs. And then we're going to cross the way here to the other side of the pool. And we're actually going to come across the spare tire. This is another grab and go food selection here. It's awesome. You got the sink. That's basically the front of the vehicle. Once again, it was early morning, so this wasn't open. But you can see here what they offer every day. And I heard rumors, which we never got, that raspberry cheesecake chimney. I heard they were amazing. And we got the other pool on deck 15. And these funky hot tubs that are on deck 16, it looks like they're clear, but they're not. Just so funky. Now we're gonna head to the mason jar. This is a very cool southern style restaurant and bar. When you first walk in, you'll see the seating to the restaurant to the right, but to the left are these awesome seating areas, especially these rocking chairs. They were so comfortable. So you could have your drink of choice, rock back and forth, and relax. And they did have an awesome country band, and we were here quite a few times to listen to them. They played a lot of country, rock, just a good mix. You got an overview of the bar. And there was a drink that I loved here. It was the Mississippi Moonshine. It has blackberry moonshine, blackberries, and lemonade. Highly recommend it. Now we're gonna walk into the restaurant area. They do offer, at an upcharge, a brunch and dinner here. All right, now we're gonna head to the Windjammer. So basically this is your buffet area. There are plenty of hand washing stations on both sides of the Windjammer, as you can see here. And of course, with any buffet, you have your mix of everything. They even had churros. They were pretty good. Got a seafood station here. And of course, you gotta have a dessert station. And of course, your staples: hot dogs, hamburgers, chicken nuggets. And of course, you got fresh fruits and vegetables, amongst other items. It's just hard to film in the Windjammer because it was always so busy. But you get the idea. Let's head on to deck 16 now, where we will find Hooked Seafood. I'm not a big seafood person, but I loved the nautical theming of this restaurant. And let's walk outside Hooked Seafood, where you can find the upper deck of the whole Lido area. And they do sell these cabanas, but of course they do cost extra. But you can always reserve them if you just want a designated place to sit. Now we're at the second level of the lime and coconut. And I gotta tell you, these seats right here, this is actually where we spent Sail Away at. Pretty awesome views while looking at the party down below. And remember that clear hot tub looking thing? Here's the entrance right here. And still on deck 16, let's head to the arcade. So you'll see signs for El Loco Fresh, but right by it is the arcade. Now let's head to El Loco Fresh. This is the Mexican taco burrito place on board. Hand washing stations. Just a good little spot if you just want a quick taco burrito fix. And right next to El Loco Fresh is Cantina Fresca, which is the bar next to it. And then we're coming across Aqua Dunes, which is the mini golf course. This is a cool course with all the sea life and it's just very cool. Love the vibe and the aesthetic here. And if you're feeling adventurous, you could head over to the zip line and fly across the boardwalk. I don't know if I could do this, but hey, if you're feeling like a daredevil, have at it. And walking towards aft, you're going to see the Ultimate Abyss, but we're not going to head there yet. We're actually going to go to Utopia Playscape. This is a cool little area for little ones to burn that energy off. Now we can walk by the Ultimate Abyss. This is the dry slide that takes you from deck 16 all the way down to deck 6. So it's 10 decks high. I heard it's fun. And right across from the Ultimate Abyss is the Wipeout Bar. So you could get refreshments here, plus you could get shaved ice. And of course, being on a Royal Caribbean ship, you got the Flow Rider. And in this area is also the sports court. I'm gonna take a peek inside. So it looks like you could play basketball, volleyball, and pretty sure you could do soccer in here as well. And you also have table tennis here. And right outside the table tennis is SoCal 100. This is the teens club on board the ship. And also on deck 16 is the Crown Lounge. This lounge is for members Diamond and above. Now let's head on to deck 17, where you'll find the Coastal Kitchen and the Suite Lounge area, plus the suites. And Coastal Kitchen is a exclusive restaurant to the suite guests. Thank you all for watching this extended walking tour of Utopia of the Seas. Hope you liked it. And if you want to book Utopia, contact me down below. Links to my TA information is listed. Thank you all so much, and we will see you on the next excursion.